Hi everybody and happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers watching this video. Today I am sharing the dress I made for hashtag So Maxi for Mother's Day, hosted by T of Crumpets Tea and Sewing and Crystal from Crystal Sews and Stuff. So I believe this is the second year that T and Crystal are hosting this challenge. It's a very simple challenge and the name says it all. So Maxi for Mother's Day. This year they had a pretty long time frame because they wanted to include the UK mothers as well as the US mothers, well, and international. So it went from March all the way up to May the 11th. So you still have one day if you did not get to post your make. Now I love a good maxi dress. Since I was a teenager, I always loved wearing maxi dresses, so this challenge was right up my alley. Funny enough, I found that I have not really made many maxi dresses, and I think one of the reasons is it takes a lot of fabric to make a maxi dress, and the other reason is that cutting it could be really difficult. My table is not the biggest, so I have the fabric hanging off and doing the most to try and get this thing cut, and then if I try to cut it on the floor, I have back issues and that never works out well. So I think those are the two main reasons I kind of stay away from maxi dresses. But I'm really happy I decided to take part in this challenge this year. So recently I picked up a lot, and I mean a ton load of indie patterns on sale, and also some even for free because there are a lot of sales going on right now during isolation time. So I was actually planning to purchase this dress pattern anyway, and then it dropped to 60% off on the website. Of course, I grabbed it so I could participate in T's and Crystal's challenge. So the pattern that I am talking about is the Ellie and Mac Belle wrap pattern. This pattern has a lot of options and the size range is also pretty big. I have been really enjoying sewing knits since I got my new serger. So this was the perfect pattern to give it like a real good test run because it's a whole maxi dress instead of like a little t-shirt top. I'm sure you're all wondering about this fabric because it is absolutely gorgeous, and we all know that animal print is very much trending right now. But trending or not, I was always an animal print girl from ever since I could remember. This fabric I got on sale from Fabric Mart Fabrics. It is an FTY knit. This is the first time I'm working with an FTY knit. I'm familiar with ITY knits, but I was not familiar with FTY knits. And now I'll be able to tell you guys the differences between the FTY and the ITY. So I personally find that ITY knit is stretchier than the FTY knit. I mean, this has stretch, but the pattern calls for 50% stretch, and I think this is just about 50% stretch. Also, this is only two-way stretch, so it only stretches this way. It has maybe 20% maximum vertical stretch. So I feel like if ITY is stretchier, I'm trying to remember if the ITY is a four-way stretch. I honestly don't remember, but I know for sure it feels stretchier. The other thing is that it feels a little bit heavier. This FTY is really lightweight. It is to the point that it is translucent. It's almost sheer. When I actually wear this dress out into the world to events or whatever, I am most likely going to have to wear a tank top underneath, because the weight of the dress is pulling the dress and stretching the dress even more, and that is causing it to be a little bit sheerer than I would like. Now with Ellie and Mac patterns, from my experience, the yardage is usually divided up, and that is because there are so many options in each pattern. So this pattern has various sleeve lengths, and then you have different types of skirts you could do, so it's broken down. So mine is the gathered skirt, so there's a specific yardage for the gathered skirt in my size, and then for the top, and then for the short sleeves, and also I did the optional sash. So when I added all of those together, it came up to about, I want to say 3.5 yards. I only had 2.5 yards of this fabric, and as the true sewing rebel I am, I said I'm going to make it work, and that's exactly what I did. So I laid it out on the floor first, laid my pattern pieces on top just to make sure everything could fit and just to have in my idea how they would lay out. And then I actually cut around each pattern piece, and then I took those smaller pieces of fabric to my cutting table, so I didn't have to worry as much about fabric sliding off the table. Quick tip. So now on to the nitty-gritty of the pattern. Like I said before, one of the things I like about Ellie and Mac patterns is the size range. So this pattern comes in sizes extra small all the way up to 5XL. That takes you from a bust of 29 inches to 60 inches, a waist of 23.5 inches to 56 inches, and a hip of 33.5 inches to 63 inches. Now, there are no finished garment measurements, so I did make a muslin just to be sure. I went according to the size chart. So my measurements are 40.5 bust, 33 waist, and 44 to 45 hip. And the size I chose is extra large, and I'll put the measurements for that size up on the screen so you can do the comparison. But the point is, it worked out perfectly. My muslin was spot on, and I'm really appreciative of that. I would say it's safe for you to not even make a muslin because it's knit fabric, so it's really flexible and you don't have to do much fitting anyway. So the bodice of the pattern is a wrap, so it does wrap. Not sure if you can tell in this fabric, but there is a wrap here, and you are supposed to gather the side of the wrap before attaching it. I did not do that because I realized that the waist of the skirt was going to pull this top down, and if I gathered it, the neck would be even lower, and I really didn't want that, so I didn't gather it for more coverage. I just laid it on the side seam completely flat, and that worked out fine. Then there is a neck band that you apply as well, and then you have your choice of skirts and your choice of sleeves. I went with the short sleeve because, as I said, I only had 2.5 yards of fabric, but there's also a 3/4 sleeve and a long sleeve. And for the skirt, you have 4 length options. There's tunic, there's mid-thigh, there's knee length, and there's maxi. Obviously I did the maxi because this is a maxi dress challenge. And then you also have different styles of skirts. So you have the gathered skirt, you have a half circle skirt, and you have a full circle skirt. And obviously, depending on the half circle or the full circle, you won't be able to get maxi length. Especially for the full circle, I think you could probably only get up to mid-thigh or maybe knee, depending on how wide your fabric is. So since I was making a maxi, I went for the gathered skirt. Overall, I am really happy with this pattern. One of the things that completely shocked me is the fact that this pattern is drafted for somebody who's 5'4", and I am 5'4", so I did not have to make much changes at all. The bodice, I usually have to shorten my bodices. I mean, y'all know this by now, but I did not have to shorten this bodice. The only thing I did was a 1/2 inch sway back adjustment on the back bodice piece, but the front I left exactly as is. The skirt, I like my maxi skirts to, I don't want to say drag on the ground, I like them to graze the ground. So I went ahead and added 2.5 inches to the skirt. Bad idea. By the time the dress was finished stretching from the waist of the skirt, this thing was like dragging all over the floor. Like I could sweep the floor with it. So that 2.5 inches that I added, I ended up turning up. So I literally turned up the 2.5 inches, and then I did a 1-inch hem, and then I trimmed off the excess. For the hem and the sleeves, I did a twin needle hem. Not sure if you can see. I had absolutely no problems doing this twin needle hem. Sometimes it gives me a little bit of trouble depending on the fabric, and I really thought it was going to stress me out with this FTY, but it was actually quite fine. The serger sewed this up like a beast. They're 1/4 inch seam allowances, so it's really made to be sewn up on a serger. So overall, it was a quick make, but I am going to tell you the one mistake I made, which is also the one thing I would change next time I make this dress, and there will be a next time because I really do love this pattern a lot. So they call for clear elastic to be added to the waistline. Now, I never saw clear elastic here, so I used regular 1/4 inch elastic, and I didn't measure out the elastic. What I did was I just had my long roll of elastic, and I was pulling it slightly as I serged it onto the seam allowance, the waist seam allowance, and by the time I was finished, the waist was still out here. It did not pull it in enough, and it was just really heavy, and it was fitting really awkwardly. So I had to seam rip all of that serging around the waist. Now remember, I said that my new serger is a boss. So seam ripping that, I think that took me an entire day to seam rip the serge around the waist seam. So then what I did was I measured the elastic around my waist and joined it as one circle of elastic, and then I pinned it in quarters, and then I marked the center front, the center back, and then of course I had my side seams, so I matched the quarters and then stretched that and zigzag that on my sewing machine. That fits a whole lot better, and the mistake I made is that I went and serged that, and the reason why I serged that is because after zigzagging that, I realized that the waist seam was looking a little bit spraggly from when I had seam ripped the serge earlier, and I didn't want to leave it like that, so I went around and serged over that elastic, and that just added so much weight. I could not believe how much weight that little serging added. So that is why the bodice is kind of being pulled down, which is not ideal for this thin fabric. I'm going to take off this sash just to show you what the waist looks like. So this is the waist. It's not the slackest thing in the world, but it's definitely not sitting on my waist, and it feels very, very bulky from the serging and just a bit too heavy. I don't know if clear elastic would be lighter because I've never used it before. I guess you guys can let me know in the comments. But next time I think I would grade down at the waist, and then I would just zigzag on the elastic instead of serging it. The sash, I do find the sash to be just a little bit too wide for my liking, so I may actually cut the sash down to half next time so that it fits really snug in the crease of my natural waist. But yeah, other than that little mishap, everything went smoothly, and like I said before, I absolutely love this dress, and I love it with this little pop of color. Now I know that I can squeeze a maxi dress out of 2.5 yards of fabric. I do also like the knee length version with the circle skirt, so I may try that one next. But yeah, if you've been looking for a knit maxi dress pattern, I highly recommend this one. It's a very simple and enjoyable sew, and if you're a short person like me, you're gonna appreciate the bodice length. So this is my second Ellie and Mac pattern that I've ever made. So far I've had a really good luck, and like I said, they did have sale. Actually, their patterns are still 60% off right now, and they also have wacky week patterns for $1. I'm trying to remember if I got this one for $1 or if I got it for $3, but it wasn't more than $3 for sure in all of the sale stuff. So now is a really good time to go and pick up some patterns from them. I actually bought another maxi dress pattern. That one is called the Wrapped in Love dress, and instead of the bodice wrapping, the skirt actually wraps. So I can't wait to try that one as well. So yes, this was my entry for #SewMaxi for Mother's Day. It's been a while since I've made a maxi dress, and I actually really like a maxi dress on me. I don't know, and like the silhouette of this one is really flattering in my opinion. So you may be seeing a little bit more maxi dresses from me in the near future. Anyways, I don't really have much more to say. I guess I can show you the back, although you probably won't be seeing much right now, but I'll be sure to insert pictures as usual. I did venture outside for my photo shoot for this. I just didn't want to take it inside. I felt like this dress had to go outdoors. So even though we are on lockdown, we snuck out and I took some pictures on an empty road with some bush in the background. Snapped some pictures quickly and came right back in the house. Hopefully nobody saw me. I think one neighbor saw me and was probably wondering where on earth I was going dressed up like this, because this is definitely not isolation wear. So yeah, that is it for me today. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not done so already. Follow me on Instagram at Island Socialist and my blog islandsocialist.com, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.